We're back with Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to look at Nightmare Campaign Farmers, and is it even worth you farming 12-6 on Nightmare to try to make a champion to do that, which is very hard. I've got a few that can do it. We'll talk about those. We'll show those go through there. We'll look at their gear, and let's see right now if it's even worth it to you. I don't really think it's worth it. We're in Brutal. We're going to go to Brutal 12-3. We're going to look at how much experience we get and how much silver we get. So let's just pay attention to the base silver and the experience. The experience will be 17,304 right at the end of this run, and it's 11,000 silver. Here we go. 17,304, 11,000 silver. A lot of times we get a 3-star, 5,538. I'm not even focused on that because sometimes you get 3, sometimes you get 4-star, sometimes you get 5, sometimes you get mystery shards, or you get a 2-star or 3-star champion. It does vary a lot. Now let's go over to our Nightmare Campaign 12-6 Brutal, which is where everybody farms because 12-3 is actually way too hard. Now we already know Nightmare Campaign is way too hard. It's just like when Faction Wars came out. Faction Wars was crazy hard. They just, did they nerf Faction Wars once or twice? I think twice. This also needs to be lowered. The requirements to do this, if they really want us to farm here, they need to do some adjustments. And let's see also, there's no way my Shield Guard, just for fun, let's run Shield Guard through here. There's no way my Shield Guard even has a chance in this. Sadly enough, your regular Brutal campaign farmers will not have a shot in Nightmare at all. Look at this. It takes a really special class of champion to do it, and it takes really, really good gear. So there you see, poor old uncommon Shield Guard cannot even handle it. We're going to go over here. We're going to try our Biggin. Where'd Biggin go? We're going to put Biggin in place here. We're going to let Biggin run through and see how much experience we get and how much silver we get. Now remember, this is 2 times the cost of Brutal. Brutal is 8 energy. This is 16 energy. So you would think we get at least double the amount plus some. So we should get 17,304 times 2 is 34,608. And then 11K silver would be 22K silver. Let's see if let's make sure we at least make it. I'm pretty sure from now on, I usually get 100% clear time. Unless this allure is going to go crazy right now. Ooh, almost. I think I'm strong enough now to always make it. 28 seconds. Biggin cleared it. 19,000. So as you saw before, we got 11,000. That's 22,000 silver base we got from this. So we get more silver from Brutal. Same amount of energy, more silver from Brutal, and even selling this, more silver from Brutal. It's crazy. And I forgot to look at the experience. Oh man, let's run it one more time. Replay, and then we'll talk about champions that can do this. You also let me know in the comments below. Please let me know what champion you're doing really well with if you farm here on 12-6 Nightmare. That way people will know. Because I only know Tyrell, Miscreated Monster, Biggin, Ignatius, and then pretty much anybody else who's a defense champion that you can equip with lifesteal gear or just really high defense and really high speed. Now again, here, it's a speed requirement. We need about 200 speed still to do really well here. You definitely want to go 2 times to their 1 time, and you want to have, what's it? 39,000. Okay, so you only get 300 more experience. That's it. 300 and some odd change more experience from doing Nightmare Campaign as opposed to doing Brutal for the same amount of energy. That's pretty insane. We're getting less silver and only 300 and maybe it was like 40 or something, 340 additional experience per run for doing Nightmare, for doing this hard Nightmare. That's crazy. Plus it's taking me 25 seconds here. It's taking me, 30 seconds. I get like maybe 22 seconds to a 35, 40 second clear time. It's not worth it to me when I can do a 6-second farm, 8-second farm, and Brutal with anybody out there that I want to. So you can already tell that don't worry about doing Nightmare. Don't even worry about it. Like, I know you want to see people do it. You want to see me do it and other people clear through it. It's just not worth it. It's really not worth it. They need to really go back, make this a bit easier, and then give us way more experience and for sure coin. We're getting less coin. Less coin, everyone. Insane. So it takes 16 to run here. It takes 8 to run Brutal. Stick with Brutal 12-3. You're going to be way better off. What can do this? We can do this with Ignatius. We can do a really long run with Miscreated Monster. We can do it with Tyrell. Tyrell and Lifesteal Gear can do this with good defense and good speed. We need that 200 speed plus good masteries. We can get through here in 1 minute 30 seconds to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, depending on your gear and your speed. That's with Tyrell. Miscreated Monster is going to be the same situation. Ignatius is very good for going through here. He can get low times like I just did with my Biggin. Somewhere around there. Maybe not as good as Biggin, but he can get there. Now, Biggin does AoE. He does a lot of effects with his AoE. He stuns on one of them. He does a reduced turn meter, slow speed, Accuracy, I mean, Biggin's a pretty amazing AoE champion, and we don't really have that many AoE champions to go through there that can lock people up. And if you're going to try to take a single target champion in there, it's going to be pretty hard. It's going to have to be pretty amazing. So let me know. Let me know what else you bring in there. We'll run Miscreator Monster because I really don't have amazing gear on Miscreator Monster, but he can still do it. Obviously, because he's stunning on a 3-turn cooldown. He heals himself for an enormous amount on a 4-turn cooldown. Half of his life, 50% heal, plus 3 turns of regen at 15%. That's pretty amazing. So as long as nobody comes in here and just whacks him really, really hard and blows him up, we'll be fine. And I don't have him in lifesteal gear. There's no need for that. With his A3, with his A3 on a 4-turn cooldown, it's actually plenty. It gives him plenty of life. And look at him go. His A1 is so good. His basic attack is so good here. It does stun. It does decrease defense, which is very handy. This 3-turn, the 3-turn stun, bring Miscreator Monster. If you're trying to get through Nightmare Campaign, bring Miscreator Monster. He's so good. Get him about 200 speed. I think mine's actually 199 speed. Get him those HP gloves, HP chest, speed boots, substats, and he's gonna do phenomenal for you. He will get you through Nightmare, along with, if you have a really good Madam, you could bring Madam in. Those two together will take out the waves that you fight. You take the Valkyrie fights or any other ones that you have a really hard time in Nightmare Campaign to complete it. Now, when you get to Nightmare Campaign 12-7 and you want to complete all of Nightmare, that's a whole different story. Hey, we're doing pretty good time here. We're doing pretty good with the Monster. Look at this. Go, Monster. But who wants to farm at over a minute time? Nobody wants to do that. So I don't even know why we have Nightmare Campaign. It doesn't make sense. It's not feasible. It doesn't make any sense. It's not feasible for anybody out there to farm it even when I can with Biggin. I can do it with Biggin, but it makes, I get 300 and something more experience. I get less silver, and it takes me way more time. That makes no sense at all. It needs to be revised. It really needs to be revised. Who else do we have? We have Tyrell. I can't do it with Tyrell and the gear he has on right now, but you can do it with him with lifesteal gear. Please, again, in the comments below, tell us who you're running 12-6 Nightmare with and what your times are. And then if anybody asks for a general idea of your gear, they'll leave a comment under that and say, hey, can you let me know what kind of gear you're using to accomplish that? Because I'd like to know who else out there can do really well to farm this. They need to balance it. Just like they've been needing to balance spiders forever, they really need to go balance this. Let's look at my Biggin. Let's check out what I have in my Great Hall for him so you can see how crazy it is that I have to be this strong. So here's my Biggin. Kind of a lot of mixed matched gear, right? We don't have any particular set, but we do have critical damage with a lot of speed, a lot of crit. Again, attack of 60% with a lot of speed, a crit, critical damage. That's the whole theme here. Speed with crit, critical damage. Accuracy, that's good. We need accuracy too. This one has 16 crit, 5 speed, so a little less speed there. We could probably replace some of this gear. 23% critical damage, crit, speed. Same thing here. We've got the same old song and dance. Critical damage here. We've got more attack and then accuracy. So we could even make him hit harder, but he does fine. We've seen him run through there. He does fine. Of course, he's skilled up. He's got all books into him so that we can accomplish what we need to here. And then his masteries are just critical damage, more damage when he kills people. We get a 12% increase after we kill that first wave. We have flawless execution because we want it to be consistent. And then we have additional things, more damage when he does the first hit on them, more damage when he has high HP, which really only goes into play that first wave. After that, he does get hit a few times. And then just a few other things. So he's not really built just for farming. He's not built specifically for farming, but it's still good. You want this whenever you kill an enemy, you get an increased speed. So then by the time we kill the first wave, we're at 18 speed overall. Really good for Biggin, really good for anybody. Let's look at his total stats. So he's at 4,500 attack, 210 speed, which is really good, what we need. We've got 100% crit and 272 critical damage and 264. And then we got enough health to help out. Now this is with the Great Hall. So in Great Hall, you can see I'm getting a 25% increase in critical damage. And we could make him stronger. It's actually been a minute since I've been in here to mess with his gear. We could definitely make him stronger. I think we could. We could keep the speed. We could definitely make him faster. We could keep the stats we have on him right here and make him faster, which would be good. All that would play a part in making him go through there even faster, but it's not really needed. I'm not going to mess with it. I have fun and do what I need to with him for now until we get an artifact sorting system. You saw Miscreated Monster go through. Look at what Monster has on him. Increased defense, increased HP, because he does damage based off of HP. HP again, speed boots, and that's it. Accuracy, HP, no critical damage. No critical damage. That's what Monster's all about. Monster's all about being really fast and having lots of HP, and he will still do everything he needs to do and do damage. So please, if you're building a miscreated monster, go full HP. Don't try to go high super crit. You can. Obviously, mine's got some crit here. But if you're going to go crit, make sure that at least it's crit substats. Make sure everything else on your miscreated monster is all HP. HP, speed. Get that speed up as high as you can go. Get that HP as high as you can go. And he's still going to do damage based off of just all his skills being based off of HP. HP. And this, to do the campaign farming on a 3-turn cooldown with this stun, really helps out. And then he's going to heal himself for 50% of his life. So I know he does well. We just saw him go through there. We know Biggin does well. I know Tyrell. I've seen Tyrell do it. I've done it before with my Tyrell when I had him geared differently. But right now I've got some stun gear on him. I don't know. I can't even find him right now. Here he is. I've got some stun artifacts on him, and he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. He just won't. I need lifesteal. I need lifesteal on him. High defense, good speed, and he'll blow through it. Which he does have good speed on him right now, and he has high defense. He just doesn't have that lifesteal, so I don't think he's going to make it. But that's it. There's really no secret to Nightmare Campaign. It's whether you have specific champions, especially the ones I just mentioned, Tyrell, Miscreated Monster, Ignatius, Biggin, and then whoever else out there that's going to chime in and say they do it. And then you got to have insane gear. You got to have a good Great Hall, and you can make it. If you really wanted to do it just with anybody, you can do it with Miscreated Monster without all the fancy stuff, but it's still going to take a really long time. You'll probably be at 2 or 3 minute clear times, and it is just not worth it. That's all I've got for Nightmare Campaign. I'm sorry I couldn't help you more. They need to balance it. They really need to balance it and make it better. I hope they do. I hope they make it better for all of us. And then I hope they increase the experience we get. And I hope they increase the coin that we get, because it doesn't make sense at all that we're only getting 340 or so extra experience and we're getting less silver. That's crazy. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all on a video soon.